Hey everybody, it's Katie and
Matt.
And we are here yet again, lucky you, for another episode of R.E.A.L with Katie and Matt, and that stands for, what's the R stand for?
What is this? Real estate
and life. And we think it's kind of cute because, you know, it's real. And anyways, okay, let's just get on with it, shall we? So our topic today is moving to Phoenix, and well, yeah, specifically the Phoenix area of Arizona. As you know, Phoenix is the 5th largest city in the nation. We are running at about 5.5 million or so in population, including, you know, all of the suburbs and whatnot. So personally, we are actually both from the same area, met here in Phoenix. That is a story for a different episode. It's a great story.
Wonderful story.
But we both came from New England, from New Hampshire. And I have to say that moving here to the Phoenix area was quite the culture shock for moi. How about you?
Yeah, it was extremely culture shocking, I'd say, especially being as young as I was at 18. So, but I think I absorbed it a little bit better.
Well, you've been here for what, 30 years now?
20 years. I've actually lived here longer in Arizona than I lived in New Hampshire.
Whoa,
so.
Crazy. And you kind of had a little bit of a leg up, I would say, because you had family living here. So you kind of got some advice. You knew what it was like out here. Some people are just moving blind, like me. I just went, let's pull out a map. Phoenix looks good. And that's what I did. For real. So he got a little bit.
It's really not true. My family actually
would you stop?
Influenced you moving here.
They actually,
that's another story.
Anyway, we're getting too far into it. So let's talk about what everybody seems to focus on when they think about Phoenix, Arizona, and that's the heat.
Yeah, and it is hot, but
it is hot.
Tell me a place in the country that's not hot during the summer.
Well, and then again, tell me a place in the country, which I know of many, that are 30 below zero for 6 months straight in the country.
I can tell you a lot.
Quite honestly, I would much rather deal with from June through September, you know, 110, 115, 120, because as cliche as it is, it's a dry heat. And, you know, there's AC everywhere. So my biggest advice is if you're bringing your car over, have AC in your car.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Make sure it's charged, and if you are making the trek, make sure that your car is tuned up, because the heat does get hot. It's 120 degrees. Your blood is still very thick if you're moving from colder climates. So yeah, the first year or two, just like anything's gonna take adjustment. Just like if someone from Phoenix was to move to New Hampshire or New England and have to deal with, you know, sub-zero temperatures, they're, you know what I mean? But the thing is, they're going to be dressed up dealing with gray skies and shoveling snow and saying this sucks and their arthritis hurts, where when you move from cold climate to hot weather, how you deal with things is flip-flops, beer, pool, and fun stuff.
Yeah, and there's AC everywhere. So some people who are actually, you know, Phoenix natives may be laughing at me right now, like, your tip is to get AC in your car. But they don't know that cold weather states, some of the vehicles, maybe not now, but when I was growing up, some of the vehicles didn't have AC.
No, it's true. And or some of them, their AC wasn't properly working and they just didn't know because they
didn't care. Yeah. So make sure you have AC in your car. Everything else is air conditioned. It's going to be a rare occasion that you bump into a home that doesn't have HVAC. Very rare occasion. So you've got it in your homes, you know, all the restaurants. Trust me, it's totally fine. There's a reason 5 million people live here through the summer and they don't die. So we're good. As far as the terrain, so before I moved out here, it was really interesting because family members, friends that weren't familiar with the west side of the country or didn't really understand Arizona told me that it's just flat and a bunch of sand. So me coming from the mountains, I was like, oh, well, I might not like that. You know, they might be right.
Wanted you to move.
Right, there might have been some ulterior motives, but it is absolutely 100% not flat and 100% not all sand. So, I mean, we've got mountains. In fact, Matt and I live in Ahwatukee, which is the southern part of Phoenix, right up against South Mountain. We hike every day.
Yeah,
he mountain bikes every day. So it's not all flat and sand, if that's what you were thinking.
Beautiful. Arizona country and geographies is so grandiose and vast. And it's far from flat. I mean, it's gorgeous. You have geological features that thrive in all environments, all temperatures, and you can witness this within an hour drive. It's unbelievable. I love it.
So Matt skis.
I snowboard. Get that straight.
Whatever.
Jesus.
So it was, a conversation that I had before I moved out here about, well, you like to cross country ski, not downhill, but you like the snow and you like to do stuff outdoors and you're not going to be able to do that. Well, au contraire.
Yes.
So tell us where you go skiing.
Growing up in New Hampshire, that was my passion. Still is. My church is snowboarding. I love it. Skiing and snowboarding and winter activities are 2 hours from here, sometimes even lower. Depends at what elevation snow's falling. If you want to hike, you could be an hour and a half and you could find snow, especially if you're a cross-country skier.
Yes.
But the beautiful thing is you're not stuck in the snow. If you want to go up to Flag and enjoy, they had over 300 inches of snowfall.
It was insane
this year. 300 inches. That's insane. They are also rated at least twice a year the best skiing conditions in the world. And they take, different elements from every ski resort in the country based on fresh snowfall, current temperature, and all these things. And of course, Arizona will get 3 feet of snow, and then it's 50 degrees the next day in blue skies and sun. So you do that, you go up, you enjoy, you come home, you barbecue.
That doesn't suck.
No, it's beautiful.
Before I came out here, also another thing was, oh, don't you love living next to the ocean? I was 2.5 hours at least from the ocean, where I'm from exactly, in northern New Hampshire. So talk to me about the ocean. Do we miss it?
No, and same. We were only about 45 minutes an hour. Maybe we'd go twice a summer, and no. And, if anything, we spent more time at the lake, and everyone would say, oh, lakes, in Arizona, you probably don't have any. Actually, we have the most boats per capita in the country. Go figure.
Huge, amazing lakes. In fact, we go to Canyon Lake often.
Yep.
We go to Lake Pleasant. We just started going to Lake Pleasant. We've just discovered this.
Apache.
Yes.
There's so many great lakes.
Unreal. You won't even believe it. It'll knock your socks off if you've never been to Arizona and you think that it's just flat sand. No, it's not. Not only that, but we're in fairly close proximity of San Diego, Rocky Point.
Yeah, Puerto Peñasco.
So we have some beaches there, and then who doesn't like Vegas? We're pretty close to that too.
Everyone loves Vegas.
Everybody loves Vegas. So let's talk about the second topic that seems to really freak people out. Scorpions. Okay. We have scorpions. In fact, I think everywhere in the country, there's something to look out for. I know in New Hampshire, you got to look out for moose. That shit'll kill you. I know in Florida, you got to look out for the gators that appear in your pool. That shit'll kill you.
Water moccasins, black widows exist everywhere. The wolf spider exists everywhere in the country.
Yeah, so it's not just here in Arizona. And let me just be the first person to tell you, scorpions don't attack.
Which is crazy to hear her say, because when we first bought our house now, Creepy Crawly, give a shout out to them.
Holly.
They came out and they did an assessment to see how many scorpions, if we had scorpions. They found 16.
It was more like 26.
Something like that. Well, anyways, it was a lot. Kate's texts were the puke face emoji and then a bunch of fires saying, burn it down, get out, cancel. And she was ready to literally throw away the house we love and cherish because of scorpions and because she kind of attached onto that theory that they attack you, they'll kill you. It's
not true.
And it's not true. It's totally false.
We live, I was going to say with scorpions now, but that's not true because we have Holly Parker. But we know how to live with scorpions now. We know they don't attack. We know we hunt for them. We've sealed our house. It is really fun. It's actually really addicting. We've sealed our house. And with all the construction, I don't know if you guys know, Matt is a very skilled flipper, and we kind of flipped our house, except we didn't sell it. So we just came in, gutted the whole thing, redid it all, and that's going to drum up some stuff, right? Our house is like 30 years old, so we ripped the roof off, all of that stuff. So that's going to drum up some stuff. We saw in an entire year in a house that was not being properly controlled as far as pest control, in an entire year with all the work we did, we saw 3 scorpions in the house. 3.
And 2 happened to be right in the same spot. They came in through the same area.
We know what it was and totally just fixed it. So it's very, very manageable. There are some areas of the valley where there's a little bit of a higher concentration of scorpions than others. So that might be interesting for you to know. We are actually, I'm a real estate broker. He's just a real estate agent. But anyways, My licensed assistant. We have access to scorpion maps. So if you're interested in knowing, you know, they're kind of like heat maps kind of deal. If you're interested in knowing where those higher concentrated areas are of scorpions, we can let you know that. But
don't let that be a deterrent. Don't let it be something that you stay up all night. Our mother-in-law's moving here, and she's petrified of them. And I mark my words. And when she moves here, 6 to 8 months after she moves here, she'll be just like Katie, where she won't care. She'll actually go hunt for them, and you'll actually appreciate them, because if anything, it just makes you be a little bit more aware.
Just be careful.
If anything, you should be like that in anywhere that you live.
Yeah. So if you know you kind of have them in your area, you know, if you keep your shoes outside, just flip your shoes over and do that kind of thing before you put them on, and, you know, just things like that. Just kind of watch out. They're mostly active at night. If you see one during the day, it's probably sick or dying. Yeah. Same thing with coyotes.
And the other one is snakes. I think a lot of people hear rattlesnakes. You know, our baseball teams, the Diamondbacks. There's just a lot of things that tie Arizona to the scary rattlesnake. So
it's not so scary. We live up against the preserve. I think I heard one neighbor this year saw one in her backyard, but she's also right, like house preserve. Yeah. So, you know, you're going to see that kind of stuff. They are kind of out moving around right now. So rattlesnakes do have a season. Yeah. If you're a hiker, mountain biker, that kind of thing, spend a lot of time on the trails, just stay on the road most traveled. And if you get off the beaten path, just understand that there's stuff off the beaten path that you might have to deal with.
Just keep your eyes open.
They don't attack either, though. If they feel threatened, they will bite you. But they don't, it's like, I thought scorpions kind of running around the house looking for you, trying to sting you. Snakes aren't doing that. And they want to be away.
No, absolutely. And you start looking at statistics, just like when you're trying to rationalize anything. And you look at Passoa Peak, which is the most hiked trail in America. All right. That's right here in downtown Phoenix. You've got Camelback Mountain. You've got South Mountain. We're talking about probably millions of people that hike all of these combined within a year. And how many snake bites, how many things do you hear happen on these trails?
Super rare.
Super, super rare.
You're not going to see it. If you hear the rattle, you slowly back away. That's it. Don't throw rocks at them. Stuff like that. You're not a hero. Just get away from there. Okay. Kids. So we're parents. You guys didn't know that already. We have a 5-year-old. And he's at school. And neither one of us had children when we moved out here. But if we were moving from another state, here's kind of our advice. I know that in some areas of the country, it's not super common to have like these moms groups that are popping up all over social media, or parent groups, or, you know, whatever you call it, groups. We have a million here in Arizona, like a million. So I would suggest joining a group that fits your passion, like a hikers group or something like that. It will help you meet people. It will help you kind of understand what the locals do, and learn the stuff that the locals know. We actually have a mom's group. Who doesn't? It's Mom Nation AZ. Yeah, right there.
It's backwards.
Yeah, is it? Oh, that's okay. It's Mom Nation AZ, and it's really a resource for moms, you know, any walk of life. If they're coming from another part of the country, or if you're a native, or if you've been here a while, whatever. Resources for play dates for the kiddos if they're older, you know, finding friends and things for them, finding friends for you. What are the best doctors, dentists, all of that stuff. I mean, anything that you can imagine wanting to know as a mom, you'll get answers in there, as well as opportunities and free stuff and all of that kind of goodness. So join a group, a social group, really important. It'll help you kind of, you know,
acclimate to the change.
Exactly. Find some friends, find some people like you. Another thing that's kind of cool about Arizona, and I'm not sure it's like this all around the country, certainly where I grew up it wasn't, but it was much smaller. You don't necessarily have to go to the school in your district. So Matt deals with the school for our kid. So you talk a little bit more on that. Like,
well, and like lots of the other parts of the country, especially if you're talking about public school, you know, they usually have them set up to be within proximity of whatever urban densities there are within these smaller communities and so on. So, you know, going to a different school might not be feasible in these areas because of travel time. But in Arizona, you know, you can have your district school could literally be sometimes further than the one that's not in your district.
Super funny.
Which is strange, but that being said, they're very open to, as long as you're proactive. It's not extremely difficult, but if you're trying to get your kid to go to a different district, whether they have certain needs or there's certain things that you're looking for in a school, so on and so forth, you can do this research, and to get them accepted into these other schools is not impossible. It's actually quite easy. You have to be proactive. You can't just do it, in July, right before the school season is going to start. It's probably going to be very difficult to do that. But when open enrollment starts and you're thinking about moving and you're saying, hey, looking at school ratings, which, you have a great
greatschools.org. I'll repeat, greatschools.org.
Awesome. And that will give you all of the ratings, whether you're thinking about doing a charter school, whether you're thinking about doing a private school, whatever it is.
There are also many private and Montessori schools here. So, I think there's like 4 schools on every corner. It's crazy. Anything else to add on that?
No.
Groovy. All right. Awesome. As far as work, talk to us a little bit about what's available for jobs here. We have a lot of jobs available, right?
Yeah. Economy is doing amazing right now.
Really amazing.
Especially the tech sector. We're now kind of rearing our heads, which is great. So if you are in that sector, there's a lot of jobs popping up. But overall, I think every industry in Arizona is thriving. And you can tell by that when you're driving around and you look at every business, it seems like they have help wanted. You see cars and trucks that have businesses that say help wanted. It's awesome. Our unemployment rate is actually one of the lowest in the country right now. So there's a lot of good things for that. So.
And being self-employed and having a kind of home-based business, I guess, I don't know. Yeah. We do real estate. Is that home-based? I work out of my home set. Anyways, I feel like this area is really friendly to that. Everybody's, or maybe not everybody, but a lot of people are very into networking and kind of helping each other out. So if you have a home-based business, self-employed, something like that, and you want, you're coming in from another area and you really just want to plug in, get in touch with me. You can message me at any platform that you're listening to this on, YouTube, Facebook, Apple, iTunes, whatever. Just get in touch with me. Just do the contact us. It'll come directly to me and I'll help you out and share with you some of those resources. It's super helpful and it's cool once you get plugged in. So happy to help with that. As far as housing, that's what we do. We're real estate agents. Matt's been doing it a little longer than I have. So you're at what, like 15 years? I'm at 12. Some crazy thing like that. Crazy. And prior to that, I was actually in mortgage. So I've been in the industry for about 20 years. Haha, one up you. So we do a lot of business here in Arizona and have for several years. And year after year, it is an inexpensive part of the country to live in as far as housing is concerned. Would you agree?
Yeah, and considering we are on one of the top 5 metropolises in the country.
And a destination state, because let me tell you what, it's pretty nice here. Lack of natural disaster as well.
Absolutely. A lot of people say, what about the water? What do you do to get all the water in the desert? Well, we actually have a lot of water.
We're sitting on probably the largest aquifer in the west side of the nation.
Well, there's a lot of water. Yeah, we have a definitely, it's not a deep water table, but we also, at the 4 corners where the Colorado River comes in, we get the most water out of the other states. So that definitely helps.
Yes. So real quick, current real estate stats. What's going on?
There's a lot of cool things that are happening. Right now, our inventory is going down. So it's definitely, as we saw October of last year, and I think this is where I'm noticing a lot of things. We noticed inventory kind of going up. We noticed, prices, sold price compared to list price going down. That means people were getting homes a lot less than, not a lot, but less than list. And that slowly went down, and it seems like that stopped in the middle of January. And since January, everything's been going up except for our inventory. Inventory is going down, but our prices are actually going up a little bit. People are getting a lot closer to list, multiple offers coming in on all these properties, which traditionally, usually it's kind of slow, especially before tax season. We've always seen, people a little hesitant, and you notice that in our market stats. But this year, it seems like everything's accelerating, and we're about to enter into our traditionally hot season, no pun intended. But it's going to be usually between May and July, and I have a feeling it's It's going to be very, very fruitful for sellers, for buyers. Just make sure that you have the right representatives.
Yeah.
And people that are aggressive,
Dude,
understand.
Or you're not getting a house. Sorry.
And how to proactively set you up to kind of position your mindset on how to get the best deal and what proper expectations to have, what ducks to have in a row, so you're efficient when you're out there looking.
It's unbelievable to me. I see, you know, I'm in Facebook land and whatever quite a bit, and I'm seeing, you know, posts go by and people talking about their experiences with other agents. And it's amazing to me how many questions they post on Facebook. Very, very simple questions that their agent should have already like covered prior to it being a question. Like, I can't even believe these people have representation because of the questions that they're asking. Some people are losing properties and they're getting super frustrated, and their new agent or their agent that doesn't do a lot of business or doesn't care or whatever isn't using simple things like the escalation clause. Like, give me a break, people.
And there's a lot. And there's one thing that you should always ask yourself too is, who is your agent? If your agent's part-time, I mean, this is the biggest investment of your life for most people. Yeah. Would you want a doctor that was doing an operation to be part-time? Someone that's, no, you don't. You want someone that this is what they eat, sleep, breathe. This is their life, and they've been doing it for a while, so you are protected.
So you can gain from the experiences they had and the shit they've already messed up with somebody else.
Exactly.
Because they're not going to do it again. So when you don't have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sales under your belt, you don't know what you don't know. Yeah. So it's very, very difficult to, you know, see situations, train wrecks before they happen. You're in the midst of the train wreck and there's your client right there with you. So, you know, getting a real estate license is absolutely not everything needed in order to properly represent somebody in these types of transactions. It's not. I mean, like Matt's doctor analogy, you're not going to let the doctor that just walked out of med school do open heart surgery on you, are you? No, they're going to have to do a couple of years in work under the belt of an actual doctor that knows what they're doing. Yes? Yeah. Can I get a hell yeah? Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. Good. Hell yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're going to let you go, and we are so, so happy that you stayed here and listened to us and all of our tips about moving here to this awesome state. I mean, I have to tell you, really and truly, we'll never go anywhere else. I am so, so, so happy
this will be home base
in Phoenix. Absolutely 100%. We love it here. It's got everything we want. There's a few things that you have to deal with, but where don't you have to deal with it? You know what I mean? So anyway, we are Team EvoAZ. That's evoaz.com. All right, guys, give us a like. Give us a 5-star review, please.
Share. Give
us a share. Give us some comments. Message us. Contact us if you have any questions or you need any resources that you think we might be able to provide. All right. Bye-bye now.